Hi, I'm Extraayogurt and welcome back to another speed build. If you're new here, thank you for checking out my video, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. Today we'll be doing a movie theater build. So I named this build Sim Cinema. It's not very creative, but it's the best I could think of, and in this build I'll be using a lot more CC than usual. As you guys know, I always try to stay on top of my descriptions and make sure I link every single thing that I used, including the defaults and mods and stuff that I use in my game. But yeah, so you guys can see me placing a little parking lot there next door because I know I'm not going to include one on the lot. And that's not going to be a part of the video. I usually do that off video, but you guys will see the little parking lots in the neighborhood as we progress here. But yeah, so this build, it's kind of plain, to be honest. There's not a whole lot going on, but I really wanted like the focus to be on the actual theaters. I was able to find a really awesome Sims 3 to Sims 2 conversion of a movie theater set. Cannot remember the creator right now off the top of my head, but like I said, it will all be in the description. If you guys do see me including something in my lot that's against the creator's policy, please let me know and I will remove it and re-upload the lot. But I do my best to make sure I read the creator's policy and make sure I'm allowed to include their CC in my lot. And if I'm not allowed to include it, I just make sure to link it and let you guys know, hey, this isn't included in the lot or whatever like that. But yeah, so it really just makes it easier for you guys downloading the lots to use it, because I would hate to make you go and download a bunch of different links just for one lot. I'd rather just try to find CC that allows me to include it in my lots, and I'm sure you guys will appreciate that. So yeah, so this little contraption in the front there, I actually got my inspo for that from a picture of an AMC theater that I saw, and this is a much more simplified version of it, but I just really like that concept. And then you can see me here doing the see-through floor tiles, and I thought that would be a really nice addition for an overhang. So I also wanted to add that I tried to slow down the speed of the video a bit in this build. Usually I put it at a 10 speed, and this time I tried a 9 speed, which I know is not a huge difference, but hopefully that is maybe easier on y'all's eyes as viewers. Definitely let me know what y'all think, if you need it to be even slower or anything like that. But yeah, so here you see me choosing the wallpapers and stuff. It's not often that I make super quick decisions like this, and this is only because I had attempted to build this theater one time before, so I already did a bunch of experimenting with wallpapers and stuff, and I just knew this is what I wanted. I think I've explained this before too, that sometimes I'll take like 2, 3, sometimes 4 tries on a build before I get it exactly how I want it. And it just so happens that when it comes to like filming your builds, you kind of, for the sake of time, like you kind of want to know what you're doing before you start filming, just because it's less work to edit and it makes the video a little bit more to the point. But yeah, I added that little section there, the 2 rows of doors. I know that's pretty common in movie theaters. I think it's like I think it serves like a security purpose. But yeah, so here I am just doing the terrain and adding a little bit of dimension to it with that like brown terrain paint. I always do that in my lots, if y'all have noticed. I feel like it just makes the grass look more realistic, because in real life, like, grass is usually a little bit dead. So, as far as the layout of this theater, basically, I wanted to center it around how wide my movie screens were. And when I measured they were 6 tiles wide. And obviously, you want the movie screen to be the center of the theater. So, I went ahead and just made sure that it would be. So, here I am kind of creating that little lobby / entrance area. When you walk into the theater and then there's like trash cans and like movie posters and stuff like that. At least the theaters I've been to. So I created that little area there, and then here you'll see me adding some dimension to the room. And I notice when I go to theaters, there's there's a giant screen, but there's like also like some curtains around it, and it's not just flat on the wall, because obviously there's like electrical stuff back behind the wall and all that. But I added these little walkway areas, and I like to think that I put a lot of space between the walls for like soundproofing and stuff like that. But yeah, here I am trying to figure out the platform and the stairs and how I want it to be. I know that I probably could have used the constrained floor elevation cheat and done all kinds of cool, crazy things and made it look more realistic, but I just wanted it to be very, very clear and simple. So I just made 2 different floors with a stage on each floor. And so there I am, like making super thick walls again, just because I need everything to be nice and center. But I really love how the theaters themselves came out. I think it really feels like a movie theater that I've been in before, so that was kind of the goal. Also in front of the building there, I added 2 bathrooms. The women's bathroom is on one side and the men's is on the other side. And from here, the build was really simple. I just basically had to mirror the other side, and both of the theaters are literally identical. So yeah. So I just looked really quick to make sure. The majority of the cinema objects I'm using come from a creator named Varenka. I hope I'm saying that right, but if you haven't heard of them, they make some amazing CC for The Sims. A lot of conversions that have been super helpful in my builds, and like I said, I'll include everything in the description. But yeah, so all of the movie chairs, the movie screen, the curtains, and some other things that I'll be adding later on came from that Sims 3 to Sims 2 conversion set. Here I am trying to figure out the curtain situation. I probably could have just made the theater 2 stories, but I really wanted that big open feeling of like, you know, just like a really big cinema. And when I tried to like recall from memory, I haven't been to a cinema in a minute, but when I try to recall from memory, I just know that the theaters I've been to are usually just really huge like this. I wish I could have found an even bigger movie screen, but this one was pretty huge, so I'm happy with that. And then, you know, I included like those floor seats that are usually really close to the screen, the ones that everyone tries to avoid buying. And yeah, just a little piece that sticks out that has the movie screen, but nothing too special here. This is kind of part of why I said this build was pretty plain, because I mean, there's really just a few objects you need for a theater, and it kind of speaks for itself. Just like the chairs, the seating, the movie screen, the curtains, and all that. That's really all you need. And then as far as like concessions and like the ticket buying area, like that's where we really get into like the decorating and furnishing part of this build. Now these little diagonal pieces that I added sticking out on the walls, I wanted to act as soundproofing. And then I also used that wallpaper that looks like cushioning or like padding, also for like soundproofing. I really liked the dimension it added. Y'all, what do I always say to do in your builds? Paint those ceilings. So here I am painting the ceilings as usual, every single ceiling that I can get to. I'm covering with this black tiling. It makes everything look much darker and kind of sets like that theater vibe. Also, y'all, I apologize if I seem a little low energy today. I was having a bad headache, and but I was still like very much in the simming mood, and I wanted to work on this video really bad, so here we are. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how little time this build took me, considering the size of it. You know, I usually take forever on the builds, but on these larger builds. But like I said before, building a theater is fairly simple. You know, you don't see a lot of decorations inside of a movie theater, inside of like the actual theater portion, at least, if that makes sense. So it was real quick. I really enjoyed building this. And yeah, I had a lot of fun using CC again too. But also, I haven't forgotten about the 500 subs special build challenge that I'm planning. Once we hit 500 subs, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour neighborhood build challenge. I really look forward to that, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it too. But yeah, so here I am creating the ticket counter. I know most of the time these days we just buy our tickets online and stuff, but I'm pretty sure in most theaters there is like an in-person ticket buying situation. I don't know, I usually buy my tickets online too, but yeah. And then here I am trying to see if I can use that little barrier gate. It looked kind of weird. It looked like it was meant more for an airport, so I just decided not to include it. I thought those light up counters went perfectly with the movie theater vibe. It kind of reminded me of Netflix, like the color scheme, the red and the black. Like, I don't know, I liked it a lot. And then this ticket buying machine, it's just a statue, but it also came with that Sims 3 conversion set I was talking about. And yeah, so here you have an option to either buy the tickets face to face with another sim, or you can just like use the self-service little ticket buying machines. I liked that aspect a lot. So yeah. I tried to add a little bit more dimension by using those little aisle rugs, which also came with the movie set, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it was perfect. I know it may look a little weird, but unfortunately there are no like corner pieces, so I had to just make it work with the with those pieces everywhere, if that makes sense. But in the main portion of the theater, I try to add some red carpet and black tile to just make it more interesting, so it's not just black carpet all the way through. The little snack bars you see there are also are part of that movie set I was talking about. That set really just like it covered like almost all the objects I needed. Everything else I added was really just like extra, but I mean, I love those snack bars. I feel like we had to have like candy bars and stuff like that. Now for the concession section, this is where most of the rest of the CC comes into play. I had downloaded a popcorn machine by someone called Crisps and Kerosene. They make some amazing CC as well. As I said before, will be in the description. So of course we had to have the popcorn machines, and then I also had downloaded this little it's like a pretzel and hot dog display, I think. Yes, pretzels and hot dogs by someone called by a creator called Limonaire. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these names. I'm sure y'all will know who I'm talking about, but yeah, these popcorn machines are fully functional. I think that is just amazing. The place I downloaded it from, or the source I downloaded it from, was a whole entire set, and it also had come with a cotton candy machine. I considered placing that there too, but then I was like, I don't think I've really ever seen that in a movie theater, so we'll just stick to popcorn. I had also like tested those popcorn machines in my other neighborhood with Sims, and it's actually really neat how it works. Like, you can see the popcorn popping and everything. I think it's really cute. Now obviously for your Sims to get the popcorn, they would have to go behind the counter, but who cares? Okay, it's Sims. Once in a while things have to be a little unrealistic. So and then, you know, the bartenders will populate, and they won't actually be able to sell you anything, but it'll look like it, and that's like the main point of it all. So here I put up some little signs, some ticket signs, and with like Simlish, and they have like times on them. Now these menus I downloaded from a creator from Mod The Sims called, okay, I don't have it here, but I got them off Mod The Sims and I love those menus. They're some of my favorite CC that I've downloaded. I find that they work really, really well for restaurants especially. And yeah, so I just kind of repeated the same objects over each section, and I think it started to look really, really nice, just like a real theater. And if you guys noticed, I also put those little mini fridges in the counters. First of all, I did not know that the mini fridges could go in the counters. I swear I learned something new every day with this game, but I thought that looked really nice, and I figured, you know, maybe that's where they keep like the drinks and stuff. So now, speaking of drinks, I was also able to find this really cool piece of CC that is a soda dispenser. Like, it looks like a real life soda dispenser. I was absolutely blown away by it. And I also tested this like with some of my Sims, that object, and it works really, really cool. You can choose between like Mountain Dew and like Dr. Pepper and like Coca-Cola. It's really, really neat. So yeah, I probably should have added a popcorn machine out there too, so your Sims could serve themselves easier. But in the theaters I've been to, usually just the drinks are self-serve and everything else you have to like get from behind the counter, you know. So So I know that kind of brownish olive colored wallpaper might look kind of drab, but it kind of does end up working out for the look of the theater. I really was just trying to avoid using any white wallpaper because I think it would detract from like the darkness of the theater that I was trying to keep. And then right here, the trash cans I was talking about, I know it might seem kind of weird that I used outdoor trash cans, but they were like the most accurate trash cans that I could find, because usually right outside of the theater there are big trash cans where you can like throw your drink trash and your popcorn bags and stuff. But yeah, so I know it looks kind of weird, but that was my best option at the time, and I didn't want to download any like CC for that. So here I am putting up some signs above the drinks area and the ticket buying area. And then for each side of the theater, I also put a sign. Y'all, I really, like I've said this before, let's just pretend that these signs say what we want them to say. I really am not concerned about like the consistency with that. I just put those Greek letters up and just pretend that they say what I want them to say. So we're gonna pretend that says concessions, that says refreshments, and that says tickets or something like that. And then of course, like I used cheats to kind of embed it in the wall a little bit more because I didn't want it to stick out so much. And on the outside here, I put some movie posters. These also came with that movie that Sims 3 conversion movie set I was talking about. And yeah, I think it looks I think it looks really nice. Now, these movie posters I downloaded, I believe from Luminaire as well, but I really love these because there were a million different recolors, and I really appreciated that because I would have hated to have to keep reusing the same like 5 movie posters throughout the whole build. But if I had to, I would have, don't get me wrong, but this was just nice. So yeah, I just made sure I had some variety all around, added some seating out there in the lobby area, and yeah. The bathrooms are pretty plain and simple. I kept it nice and dark. And yeah, it's really nothing special going on here. I added some mirrors, a couple of sinks. I think I end up putting a trash compactor in there, but later on I take it out because I thought that was weird. I was like, well, let me just put a trash can, but yeah. Now we've moved on to lighting, which is always my favorite part of my builds. It's super exciting to see what my builds look like at nighttime. And so I really went crazy with the lighting. Well, I did and I didn't. So like I went crazy with the lighting in certain areas because like I really needed to brighten up the concessions area, for example. But like as far as inside of the theaters, I just added a few fence lights because, you know, it doesn't need to be that bright in there, even with the lights on. So you're gonna see me doing a lot of move objects on business with the lights because I like end up shoving them under all the counters and like really trying to conceal them but still get a really bright look. I love these spotlights. They're some of my favorite lights ever. I use them in like most of my builds, I'm pretty sure. But here on this top wall on the 3rd floor here, I added some more movie posters, you know, because we have so many different recolors. I was able to just add a bunch. Those lights weren't doing it for me, so, you know, I had to find a way. I think I settled for that, yeah. But here I am hiding lights under everything, under the fences, under the counters. I put some sconces by the drinks, and this is where I was really presented with a challenge because I needed those menus to look like they were illuminated. Like I really needed them to light up. Also, I added this little light situation on top there. I kind of liked how it overlapped on the sign. I don't know. I end up polishing that up a little bit more later on, but here I am still trying to figure out the lights for the concessions area. And then finally, once again, my favorite lights, those spotlights, I end up shoving under the counters, and I just put a ton of them. I put a ton of them and I turned them all different ways to kind of get the menu boards to light up. And then I almost forgot, but I put up some speakers in the theater, of course. I think it looks really nice. I just added a couple fence lights, really brightened up the place just enough, just how I wanted it. And then, you know, when your Sims visit this lot and they want to go see a movie, they can literally just select the lights and turn them off for that room. So that works out just fine. And then, yep, I add some lights to the very sparse landscaping that I did there. Add some lights to the front there. Just try to make the front look a little bit more inviting. And I love adding these flat lights to rooftops like this. especially really big blank rooftops. I've done that in most of my other builds, but yeah. And then I add a sign up here, and like I said, we're gonna pretend that says Sims Cinema. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. I downloaded recolors for those Sim Greek letters. I downloaded them from a creator named Michelle on Mod The Sims. I'm sure you guys have heard of her. If you haven't, she's like basically like the queen of recolors. I am so grateful for her recolors. Right there, you guys could see a glimpse of the layout, and here I am polishing up a few things. Oh, well, here we are into the screenshots. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just realized that I didn't do any like cinematic shots, but you know, that's okay. It's okay. It's not a lot to see here, but here's the finished product. I really love how this came out. Like I said, it is a little bit basic on the outside, but I think that we make up for it on the inside. Like I think it has a nice flow, like a nice look to it. I love the movie posters on the outside. I love the especially the werewolf one. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, here you have it. And maybe in like some of the screenshots, you guys can see a little bit of the parking lot that I built next door. I love the screenshot here. You can see like the glass tiling and stuff. And here's the main area. Ticket buying machines, the drink machines. Yeah, I love those little rope fences. They really come in handy. The concessions area. But yeah, y'all let me know what you guys think of this build. I'm sorry this was like a little bit less detailed than usual, but I really wanted to get this video out. And yeah, like I said, I'll have all of the CC linked below, and I will have this available for download on Mediafire and eventually on Mod The Sims once it gets like approved and stuff. I really appreciate y'all's feedback, your comments, your suggestions. It's all always appreciated. So thank you so much for checking out this video, especially if you made it all the way to this point, and definitely consider subscribing if you haven't. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with the rest of the screenshots, and I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and also you guys can see I added those little fire hydrant, fire extinguishers in the end. I thought that was a really nice touch. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.